everybody, this is Benita Moyers, the Happy Tech Teacher. And as a certified Google trainer, one of the questions that I have received the most is in regards to YouTube and creating and sharing playlists. Um, and a lot of people don't even realize that YouTube was affiliated with the Google certification exam. And so they usually struggle with preparation in this part, or if they rush to take the test and they haven't really worked with anybody or studied well, it usually is the one thing that catches them off guard. And the number one mistake that they make in regards to YouTube is when the Google certification exam tells you to log out of all of your programs. A lot of people will log out of Chrome and make sure their drive, all that stuff is logged out, but they will forget to log out of YouTube, especially if they have not studied or spoken with anybody about how to take the test well. And so make sure that you go up here to your icon in YouTube and you sign out right here of all of your accounts before you take the test. That is the number one thing that you need to make sure that you do, because otherwise, and I actually had this happen to me, and thankfully I had plenty of time in my exam, but I had to go sign out and then sign back in with the account that Google had provided for me, and which meant I had to look up this really long address and password again. And luckily, I had wrote it down like they suggested. If I had not done that, I would have been scrambling to find this address and stuff again. So it really kind of bogged me down for a few minutes. And so I always encourage everybody to make sure that you sign out of all your accounts before you ever start the Google certification exam. Now, once you get ready to do this, you will go in and you will sign in up here and you will use the account that Google provides for you. Now, if you're not taking the exam and you just want to know how to create playlists for your classroom or for your personal use, you would go in and log in. I usually go in and log in using my Google account. That I use the most. Right now, I'm using my trainer one that is brand new. This is my very first video that I'm creating for YouTube. I was actually going to just create it for my trainees and share with them in our Google Classroom, but they encouraged me to go ahead and start a YouTube channel. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. So please bear with me as I get used to this new platform. I'm used to teaching face-to-face. And so this is a little, or at least on Zoom. And so this is a little bit different for me, but it's exciting because my passion is to help fellow educators improve themselves and to learn more technology to help their students, because in the end, that's what we're doing all this for. So the first thing I want to mention to you is over here on the side, you're going to see home and trending and subscriptions and library. And if you click these three lines right here, it's actually going to open up an extended menu. Now, if you have never created a playlist before, you will not see a playlist like this one right here. This lines and the little arrow lets you know that this is a playlist. And I can actually click on this playlist and it will open it up and it will list all the videos that I have on here. So I just quickly, before I made this video, I just grabbed a couple of my favorite trainers and just tried to put one of each person, a video in here, just so I can show you what it would look like if you open this up from the beginning. So as you're going to see here, you're going to have the preview of the first video. You're going to have the name, and all of this stuff over here is all the videos listed in order. But you're wondering, how do I get this playlist? I don't have anything over here. So I'm going to show you today the way that I found the fastest to do this. There may be another way that maybe I'm just not aware of, but this worked for me on my exam. It helped me whenever I tried to make some playlists for my kindergarten classroom. And this is just how I've been doing it personally, and the way that I have found it works best for me. So the first thing that I do is I go up here to my icon again. And when I click on that, it's going to open this drop-down menu. And the first thing that you're going to see is your channel. So I'm going to click on your channel. And this is going to open up your channel screen. And when the first time that you do this, you're not going to have anything here. So I have added a banner and my website and things like that as I start this channel. This is actually going to be blank, but you'll see over here some tabs with videos, playlists, channels, that kind of thing. And so if I click on playlists, right now it's actually telling me that I don't have a playlist. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to click on Customize Channel. Now this is going to open up another screen that looks very similar to the one I just left. Only there's a few differences. You're going to see now that I can actually view this as myself or a returning subscriber. But now you're also going to see the playlist that I had started earlier. And then you're also going to see a new button right here that says New Playlist. So that's what we're going to click today is New Playlist. It's going to open up this box, and I'm going to just give it a title of Sample Playlist. And then the next thing that you're going to do is you're going to decide what your privacy settings are going to be. So I personally, as an educator, do not like to have my playlist public on the web for everybody. That is a preference. You might want it public to share with other teachers. Then again, you might not. I'm just really kind of hypersensitive about my information and things out there on the web. And I don't know, I just don't like to necessarily share my playlists publicly. So I actually usually turn mine on, click it on unlisted, where I can share it with friends and colleagues if I want to, but it's not something that's just easily searched from the web. Or I could make it private completely and it's just strictly my playlist. So that is your option to do. Now, if you're taking the test, just be very aware of what type they tell you to use on here. But when it's for your personal use or your classroom use, you decide what you want to use for that. So I'm going to use unlisted, and then I'm going to hit create. Now the page is going to refresh. It's going to take just a second to load back up. And when it does, you're going to have your created playlist. So you're going to see this looks very similar to the one that I showed you at the very beginning that I already had created with some of my favorite Google trainers. But the only difference is you don't see any videos here. There's not a preview over here. So that means that this is a blank playlist and I'm ready to build it and create it the way I want to. Now, let's say that I didn't like the title of that playlist. I can click on the edit button and change that. I can add a description right here by clicking on this one. And then you can see I can also change the privacy settings again if I want to. And then you see a share button and 3 dots. So to get started, I'm going to click on the 3 dots. And that opens up another drop-down menu. So now I'm going to have the option of adding videos, adding collaborators, playlist settings, and I can delete the playlist. So the first thing I want to do is add videos. Now you can add some videos from within the video itself, but I will show you here in just a minute that depending on your school district, if you're doing this on a school account, there are some videos that it will not allow you to add it to the playlist directly from the video. I have found that it has done that with me quite frequently on ours. And so the only way I could create a playlist was to go this route. And I will show you what I'm talking about in just a few minutes. So this is what I do to get around that. I go into this, and this allows me to do a video search, or if I know the URL already, let's say I copied it, then I can paste it in here. Or if I have my own videos that I want to add to that playlist, I can add those. I don't have any up right now because this is my first one. So what I'm going to do is search for, I'm actually going to search for one of my favorite people to watch for my kindergartners, and that's Jack Hartman, just one of my favorites. And I'm doing this because I want to be able to show you the very same video in just a few minutes and how it will not let me add it from the video itself. So what you do is you click on the video, and when it's highlighted, you click Add Videos, and it's going to refresh the page again. And when that page comes back up, you're going to see the video, a preview over here, and then you will see the video over on the right. And this might take just a minute. So now you have that video here. I want to go in and add just a couple more because I want to show you a few more things while we're in this section. So I'm going to look up another kindergarten favorite of Dr. Jean. Just click something in there. So now you're going to see that I have two videos on here. And the reason I wanted to show you this is your playlist is not set to the order of that you have added these videos. You can actually go up here and hit sort, and you can sort by the newest or the oldest, the most popular, or the date published, even from where it's added or published. But you can also take and hover over these three lines when you see the hand, and you can left click and hold that button and just drag these into any order you want. You're going to see that when I put Dr. Jean on top, that also changed my first video over here. Now that I have a playlist, I'm ready to share that playlist. So if I click on this arrow button, which always looks like the forward button, you're going to see some options here. You're going to see embed. Now this is one that I use for my website, especially if I use Google Sites for my students. I can actually copy this embed code and use the embed option on my website to put that in there, and it will look just the same. You'll see the same icon on Google Sites for embedding. You also have the option for Facebook, Twitter, Blogger, and all of these. And if you scroll all the way, you're going to see one for email, because that's one of the ways that a lot of people share things is through their email. Just a word of caution that if you use Gmail or something different, it is not going to open that email up. So our district is a Google district, so we use Gmail accounts, and that's the one I want to send everything in. But when I click on this, it opens up a Microsoft account. So what I usually do is copy right here the playlist. It's going to copy it to the clipboard, and then I go into my Gmail account and I embed that into my Gmail as a link. So that is the easiest way to share your playlist. Now I want to go back to the beginning real quick, and I want to just go into a video and show you. I mentioned earlier that there's usually an option within videos to add that video to a playlist directly. And if you don't have a certain playlist, it'll even say create playlist. However, if your district is like mine, or depending on some of the different settings within Google or YouTube or whatever, you're going to see that it's grayed out. If I actually try to click this right now, it is going to, let me pause this. I have an ad blocker on here and it's trying to restart it. If I click on it now, it pops up an error down here that it's turned off for content made for kids. So I could not add this to the playlist now if I wanted to. I have to go the other way, and that's why I wanted to show you that one. Now, if I look up, let's say I look up Google certification. Oops, I didn't delete that one. And I look up a video by somebody in here. Let's see. I'll just go into Brett Petrillos. I like to follow him as well. There's lots of very awesome Google trainers out here. I highly encourage you to go check some of these videos out.
Hi there. Welcome to these sessions designed to prepare.
It's still going. That they've put a lot of work into helping people with Google training and stuff. But if you see now, I can actually add this video to my playlist. So it's going to depend on the type of video, the settings in your account. You're going to see now that it gives me the option of clicking. I can actually add it to multiple playlists by clicking on it here, or I can create a new playlist from here. So it really depends on the video, what kind of video it is, what kind of permissions you have in your account, whether or not you can just create it directly from here. So if you're in the middle of the exam and you can't seem to get it to work from within videos themselves, go to this route that I've taught you. Go up here to the custom to the your channel, go to customize channel and create your playlist there. And then you can even share it from there. So it's just a fast way to do that. Just also know that you can share from individual videos as well, just by clicking on this button right here. So it's the same share button right here. You can also find translations here if you need to translate. I had a student that spoke mostly French this past year, and so I was able to go in and do some translating for her, which really helped her to engage and to learn faster. And that's really important for our students that are speaking second languages, for them to feel involved and to make sure that they are excited about what they're learning and that they understand what they're learning. So Google is fantastic for translating. There are so many tools that I have used over the past year or so that absolutely loved, because it made my life so much easier. I've had several students over the years that didn't speak English, but this was the first time that I could actually communicate well with the parents and the student. I absolutely loved it. So I will be sharing in some future videos some of my favorite ways to translate for students. But here is a quick one right here in YouTube. Just make sure that you're aware of that. Some people do not know that that's there. And there's even transcripts for some of these videos as well. So hopefully that will help you out as far as YouTube and the anxieties some people have been having over the test, knowing that this is on the exam. I keep telling everybody, just take a deep breath and just go try and play with it. That you'll be okay. But sometimes just the thought of a test causes anxiety, even in adults. And so, what you know, the more you practice, the easier it is. So, it is my hope that this has helped someone. Like I said, this is my first video, probably not going to be the greatest video, but I do appreciate you for tuning in today, and I hope that this helps at least somebody, because my motto has always been to shine a light and share with others so that their light can shine brightly as well. And so I hope that today your light will be shining brightly when you take this exam, and make sure that you are a certified Google educator who uses a lot of wonderful technology for your students. I hope you have a very happy day.